Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and we're back again. I hope everybody has had a happy holiday, and we're all kind of getting ready for the New Year's celebration. And boy, isn't that be odd to see places like Times Square and that empty, but so be it. We're all going to take the proper precautions to try and keep ourselves safe during this pandemic, and if it means watching it from television as opposed to being in person, well, then I guess that's what we're going to do. Well, my project today is actually going to be a Meisselbach. It's a Tri-Part reel, and it was made probably about 10 miles from where I'm currently living. And this is just outside of the present-day Newark Airport. So it was between the Newark Airport and the city of Newark, the downtown part of Newark. It was in Newark, New Jersey, that this was manufactured. And I'm going to show you how to take that apart. We're going to focus on simplicity. We just did the trim spin reel, about as simple as you can get in a spin. Well, Tri-Part is got so named because it's only got 3 parts. Easy enough. I guess it's got a couple more in the assemblies, but there's only 3 to the assembly. This reel differs a little bit than a traditional older spin casting reel or casting reel, in that it doesn't have the line guide. So this one happens to be a Langley Lake Cast Deluxe, and this one has the level wind feature on it, as did many of those early 30s and 40s and early 50s reels. But the Tri-Part does not have that. It has solid pillars on a frame. We'll show you in a moment how to take that apart. Look at how beautiful that spins 60, 70, 80 years later, right? So we'll show you about that. But I actually went out and sought this reel because, well, it's kind of a hometown reel. Before we do that, I always get this question about how do I fix a knob on a pen handle. And you might see in the background I've been doing that here. So I thought maybe I'd just take a moment to show you. Usually the handle will fall off, or a piece of the handle will fall off, or it'll break. And you can just generally drill out, or in some cases you can just pop out the rivet that holds the old handles on. And once you do that, all you need to do is find a cabinet knob. This is a metal cabinet knob. I think it's actually stainless. I think it was $4 or $5 maybe in Lowe's. And all you want to do is get a short screw. In this case, the screw is 5/8 inches long. Get stainless if you can. I use the blue Loctite. That's it says it's removable, but I don't ever intend to remove this knob. But that's the one I do use. I just give it a good little shot of the blue inside here to lock the threads. And I just overshot it, but that's okay. I'm going to wipe some of that down. The risk you run if you overshoot is that it's going to freeze to the handle itself. But in this case, we've got it going down now. Insert your screw from underneath. I like to put a small washer on there just to help it spin a little bit better so that it doesn't lock in. That's a number 6 screw for anybody who's doing this, and a number 6 washer. The screw is 5/8 inches long, and then just thread the handle knob on till you need a little bit of tightening power. Then use a screwdriver here. Tighten it down to the point where it's tight, and then just back it off just a hair, just so you can have that knob spinning. Just be careful when you're backing it off, you're unscrewing it sometimes. So just back it off till you feel the movement in the handle, and then just put it aside to rest, which is kind of what all of these are doing over there. And this will be your end product. You'll have a nice handle, lots of different knob, but you'll have a nice handle, and it'll replace the broken button, and you can go on fishing. So we did that. Yay. I just wanted to show you. That's always an answer to, I get that viewer question quite a bit. So let's get on to the Meisselbach for now. But before we do, one more thing. I gave my Merry Christmas greetings out the other day, and I offered in that to repair a reel or service a reel free of charge if you are a first responder. And I'm going to run that through January of 2021. Maybe it'll be my Christmas or my holiday gift to anybody who's a first responder. So EMT, fire, police, hospital workers, whether you're in the ER, doctor, nurse, administrator, VA hospitals, anything like that, where you're front line to this pandemic. I know you don't have a lot of time on your hands. I know time has been very stressful. I'm thankful that we have you on the front lines working for us, and I want to work for you. So if you have your favorite reel, contact me on the business card that follows, preferably by email, and I will do my best to tune your reel up. And if it's broken and the parts are still available, I will repair that at no charge to you. So simply get me the reel, and the rest I'll take care of myself. So please take advantage of that offer. Thank you so much for what it is that you do. Tri-Part reel, Meisselbach, Newark, New Jersey, 1930s, I don't know, 20s, 30s, holds 80 yards of line. And let's show you the 3 parts. This is pretty cool. This is similar to the Perez reel that I did earlier. And all you do to remove that is to unscrew the side plate retaining ring. Now we just did the trim spin. It was almost as easy, right? It had a clip. This one has an unscrew. Yes, I'll call that part 1, but it's 2 parts, right? It's the trim ring and it's your gear system. You can remove the handle. I don't think you can remove the gear. All of this looks like it's riveted on there. I'm going to, you see how free it's spinning. I don't need to do much with this reel. I'm just going to give a quick blast here of some penetrating oil. You can use WD-40 liquid wrench. I'm using the Ace Hardware generic brand. It doesn't really matter. Just use the degreaser to clean up. Just take some of that tarnish off of there, and we'll go back and grease that before we put it back together. So that's part 1, or part 1 and part 1A, the trim ring. Part 2 is your spool, and I believe this is an integral part of the spool. People have asked me, can I get a replacement pinion gear? I don't believe so. I believe that's kind of pressed right on there. And same thing with the back. You've got the clicker on the back side, part 2. And part 3, the frame. And your frame can also come out. You can do the retaining ring thing if you want. I'll do it for the purposes of illustration. You can remove the side plate here. It's got a little wire that becomes your clicker. In this case, this clicker has hardly ever been used in 50, 60 plus years. It's got a sharp point on it, and that's not always the case when you're servicing a reel, but in this case it is. And believe it or not, I got all of these as part of a old vintage lot set. I don't think I paid much more than maybe $10 for each reel, and maybe it was 4 or 5 reels in there. I kind of lose track after a while. I do write it down, but when I'm buying it for myself with a reason, I just don't spend a lot of time keeping track of that, because it's just going to be laying around. I'm going to put some grease in there. If you want that clicker, as I mentioned, that clicker is still here and still works fine. You can put a little drop of oil in there, and I almost made a mistake of grabbing my Loctite. That would have been fun. Put a little oil in there if you like. That's your side plate service. And I'm going to say that you can probably reverse fields on this if you wanted to. Nope, you can't. I was just noticing that the crank side has the indentations in the frame. I was going to say you might have been able to make this a left-handed reel if you wanted to, but not seeing that. Let's seat that, put this clip ring back on. And the beauty of this is you can strip it down right in the field. If you had a line jam, if the reel was starting to bark at you because it didn't have any oil or grease, you could go ahead and make a quick adjustment there and just go on and pull it out with your hand. No tools required. Of course, you'd have to bring the oil along or something, but other than that, nothing required. Spool goes back in. Simple enough. We're over here on our gear side. Now again, if you wanted to, you can take the handle off with the little screw nut, put a drop of oil. There is a collar here that's going to be holding the reel shaft, so you could go ahead and do that. For the purposes of this video, I'm not going to go that far. I just wanted to show you a simple reel and simple maintenance of the reel. There's a lot of folks out there that watch these videos just for the mechanics behind it. And I'm one of those folks. I enjoy the how these reels were made. You'll see two studs kind of on that little ring over that bar there. They're going to line with your case. So if you have your case sitting flat to your pole, just grab those two for the sides, kind of put it over the spool, mesh them in so that you make that connection there. And that should be, oh, I want to turn it one more. No, that's not right. It's one more the other way. I recall seeing the screw on the side. There you go, that screw. So that's why I was looking for that band. All right, so Tri-Part is up top now. Kind of slip it over. Again, you could have taken the handle off if you wanted to. So the Perez reel was very much the same way, the one that we had the opportunity to do a history of the Perez company on. And I may or may not do a history on Meisselbach and Brothers. We'll have to see how that all works out. This is a knuckle buster. This reel spins both ways. And I have a little bit too much grease in there. It'll work its way out over time. But that's basically the real maintenance on this. A real beauty. A nice reel all around. This one can go fishing tomorrow if I wanted to. And you know what? We're going to see. This has what's called a knuckle buster. When you go to cast, it's going to pull the line out and it's going to bring that handle back. There is no drag on this reel. The drag on this reel is your brute force, your hand. And you can do that one of two ways. You can either hold the knob or you can thumb the reel to put pressure on it. And I've seen some folks actually say don't put it right on the, of course I won't be there, I'll be covered by line, but just if you wanted to, you could grab the side of the spool to put friction on it and reduce the drag as well. So that's it. There it is. That's your Meisselbach Tri-Part number 580, manufactured in Newark, New Jersey, circa 1930s. And now you know a little bit about the reel, you know a little bit about the company, and you know a little bit about how to take this apart. Put a little grease in. That grease is working already. Look at how smooth that turns. 70, 80 years later, beautiful condition, nice piece of fishing equipment. So there you go. So what did you learn today? You learned that they make reels, the older reels today that don't have the line guide. You learned that a lot of the earlier ones did, like this Langley, which was in the 1950s. They also learned how to put a knob on a broken handle for a pen reel. Look at that, it's turning nicely now. And that'll go back onto a pen reel to take that reel fishing again. And you learned about an offer for all of our first responders, EMT workers, fire, police, hospital workers, medical field workers, and the like. As a special thank you to you, from now through the end of January, I will be servicing your any one of your reels at no charge to you. So if you like this video, please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please hit the notification button so that you can see all of the videos I post, and I do post frequently. If you have comments about this reel or any reel in particular, if you have a question about a reel, maybe you have a reel open and you just can't figure out how to service it, or maybe something got lost or something's broken and you want to know how to repair that, I'll leave that in the comments. I do try to answer all of those questions. And finally, if you have a reel that needs to be serviced, well, I do that too. And if you contact me by email on the business card that follows, I will be happy to provide you with that repair information. So this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.